What's going on, guys? This is Keegan here from Punisher's Paintball. I'm here with media guy Doug, and today we are filming a ultimate
Punisher's Picks Ultimate Mask Review. If you like this video, be sure to leave a comment, subscribe, follow us on social media. Alright guys, by the way, if you notice me squeaking and rolling around here, it's because our boss left one of our stools out front and it got stolen overnight. So
It did.
Now I'm using one of the shop chairs.
Yeah. Anyways, like always, guys, for those of you that haven't seen our videos in the past, we are going from the cheapest price point up to the most expensive price point, and giving our opinions and overall thoughts on each of these masks. So we'll get right into it with the Vio Ascend AF, or anti-fog. So Doug, what's your opinion on that mask?
So this mask, I used to really like. Here's the thing: I'm a Contour 2 wearer currently, so familiar with the system, familiar with the lens system specifically, a Virtue fan. But at first, when I would see this mask, I was like, well, I guess it's a cheap way to kind of get into paintball, but not for me, right? But then in Kentucky, somebody stole my mask. And I ended up having to grab this from my teammate, Josh, who so thankfully let me wear his mask even during these Rona times.
Yeah.
And here's my thoughts on it. Putting it on, like when it's sitting on the top of your head, kind of like this, hurts your ears a little bit.
Yeah.
But after you get it down, the foam actually feels really nice. And Josh is smart enough that he bought one of the regular 2-pane lenses, because with the AF, when you buy it as is, this is a single pane lens, and anybody that actually knows their stuff is going to know that that will still fog on you.
Yeah.
They can call it anti-fog all they want, it's still going to fog. So Josh bought the gray of this with the matching silver anti-fog mirror lens. Looks sick. It actually does look really nice. As soon as I actually pulled it down and put it on, I could breathe really well. Like, I almost thought better than some other masks. Felt totally comfortable in my face. Field of vision is, if you wear any of the Vio lens masks, you know what that is. Honestly, especially for being $49.95, you get one of these and you buy one upgrade lens that actually has dual panes, and I think you're looking pretty good. You can compete with the rest of them.
Yeah. So my opinions on this mask, just like everything Doug said, my only complaint, I tend to like a softer plastic, and this is a harder plastic. You see a slightly softer plastic on the normal Ascend. But overall, for $49.95, this mask personally can't be beat. The only thing that I would say is get that upgraded lens, and I don't believe that you actually can buy replacement AF lenses. I'm pretty sure that you only can buy the dual pane lenses to replace it. But for $49.95, personally, probably the best mask on the market for the price point.
If you're just looking to get into the game, honestly, this is a pretty good first purchase.
Yeah, definitely.
And one last thing, I'm going to contest you with the hard plastic versus the softer rubber. The only as I said, the only time I noticed it was when I was transitioning it from being up on top of my head to down here. Otherwise, dude, I don't notice it. And personally, if you're like, it's rare that you're going to catch a bounce on your face anyway with that softer rubber. So I actually remember, Josh, I remember you said this. He said, I don't care about getting bounces on my face. Getting shot in the face hurts. I'd rather the harder plastic, because then I won't feel it. Yeah. So that's my take on that. We're going to move on to the JT Proflex. So the JT Proflex has a lot of history behind it. They've been around forever. It's seen God knows how many iterations, and just, it's been out there for a while. I used to wear this. I still have one of the older, like with the actual like super flimsy foam soft ear Proflexes. I'm a fan. I am a fan. I love the Proflex platform. Where do we start? Let's start with the foam, because that's one of the biggest things I'd like to note. It is almost entirely different from the foam that's in mine. I bought them, God, probably close to 10 years ago. This is really nice. I mean, that was one of the points we were talking about. This is probably some of the nicest foam that you will find out of all the masks in this selection. Super thick, super just very comfortable on your face. My only complaint is right in the nose portion. They could have done to thin it out a little bit, because it almost like closes it makes it harder to breathe, but otherwise, I love the foam. The lens, great visibility. You have the option of the visor on or off, which is great for different kinds of weather. Obviously, all the different lens color options. They have mirror, they have clear, smoke, whatever you want. Plus, just this is it. The flexibility is what people are in this for. They love that softness, and seldom have I been able to breathe that well out of a mask as I have with this one. So, I mean, you can hear, you can talk, you can breathe. it's got everything you want, and it's only $69.95. So, what do you think, Keegan?
Personally, I love them. They fit my head very well. It's one of the few masks that I can actually get tight enough to really, like, I can actually get it too tight for my head, which is rare. I have a very small head. But the other pros, like Doug said, breathability, biggest thing with the mask. Feels like nothing is in this bottom half. It basically feels like you're wearing a ski goggle mask, which is great. And the foam, very thick foam, and I personally love that foam. Feels great on my head. So overall, JT Proflex, love it, and for the price,
I love the price point that it's at, honestly.
Great price point. And the lenses for this mask are $49.95. So not terrible, but also not super cheap like we've seen with other masks.
Yeah, so I guess with that, then the only couple drawbacks talking about the lens are these are notoriously incredibly difficult to change out.
Correct.
And with how soft this is one of those where if you get shot in the face, you are likely to feel it, but you also are likely to catch a bounce. So that's up to you as the player. But on the topic of lenses being difficult to change, we're going to jump right on into the upgraded Proflex X. As you can see, very different aesthetically on the outside, just from the lens standpoint up on the top half of the mask. Looking at them from the front, definitely the same like skeletal structure. The rubber here is extremely similar. It feels to me a little more stiff, a little harder.
I would agree with that.
But still very, like this is still soft enough that it's very comfortable and will still probably get you bounces, but you might not feel like you're getting punched in the face when you get shot. As far as the foam, it's just about the same. I don't know. Why don't you take it for the foam, Keegan?
So the foam, slightly different. It's not quite as thick, and to me, it's not as cushiony. The other thing is on the original Proflex, you have the foam that surrounds the entire mask and doesn't have these two side cutouts for your glasses, is what I've been told it's for. The other thing is you'll be able to see that obviously they had to redesign the entire upper portion to make it so that the lenses were easier to change. So it's going to look differently and has a smaller field of view. The other thing that you can see is they slightly changed the side profile and the ears. So it's kind of a built-in integrated design rather than having these separate kind of clipped ears. Personally, I like the original Proflex better.
I do too.
It's cheaper, as the Proflex X is at a $79.95 price point, and personally doesn't feel quite as good and look quite as good on the head.
That was going to be, so my two issues with the Proflex X are, straight up, it is just not as attractive as the regular Proflex. And while it is easier to change the lens, we actually have a video on that, check that out. While it is easier to change the lens, I have heard people talk a little bit about these earpieces here. This hard plastic here is right against your ear. If you get shot, that is going to feel even worse than some other masks. So, final take, I probably wouldn't go for the Proflex X when something like the regular Proflex still exists.
Correct.
But that's just me. But we are going to move on to the V-Force Profiler. So the V-Force Profiler, another one that's been around for a really long time. People are really attached to this mask. They love it. The biggest benefit that I always hear from it is that it fits faces pretty well, like a bigger face, and you can see everything. Yeah. So, and I mean, I agree. After putting it on and wearing it for a little bit, field of vision is great on this. Definitely look a little bug-eyed while wearing it, but a little uncomfortable on my ears. It is a soft-ish. It's in the middle. It's in the middle between soft and hard rubber. It just, I'm not huge on having things really wrap around my ears that much, but it did fit pretty well. I also feel like it made my voice travel inside the mask instead of outside of it more. So
correct. So my thought on this mask, the Profiler, personally, I've never worn them in actually playing or anything like that, but there's a few things that I can see off the bat. The foam is nowhere as nice as something like the
Proflex.
JT Proflex. It's a very kind of thin foam, and it honestly doesn't feel great to me. The other thing is, like I said, I've got a smaller head, and this mask personally just does not fit my head very well. Like Doug said, it does kind of echo into your ears, but breathability wise, I didn't see any problem with it, and being able to see a lot is a big thing. The only two real downsides to it, I would say, is the foam and then the look of it.
Well, the look and your voice getting kind of, so there's probably three, is your voice getting trapped in it. Now, Keegan, my last thing, let's talk about price. What can you tell me about pricing for the Profiler?
Yeah, so the Profilers kind of have a range of prices. It's our first one on this list that has a range. So you're ranging from $59.95 for standard colors like the black, as well as a few others, all the way up to $79.95. So not, I mean, you're still sticking underneath the $100 price point, which is great for a mask. And for lenses, for the reflective lenses, you're looking at a price point of $59.95, topping the most expensive one on this list. So it is, for the lenses, one of the most expensive, unfortunately.
It's going to cost you about as much as the mask. So
Yeah.
it is something to consider when making a purchase out of everything on the list here. But next up on the list, we are going to hit the Vio Ascend. Not the AF, the regular Ascend.
Okay.
What's up, guys? Our boss showed up.
I was at work. Now I'm here.
Now you're back at work?
Now I'm back at work.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so next up is the Vio Ascend. Not the AF, the regular Ascend. I was going to say it right out the gate. This is looking like it might end up being my pick. Out of all the factors, if we're considering price, field of vision, comfort from the foam, breathability, softness, like flexibility of the mask, and being able to get your voice to project, I think this is the best average across the board out of all of those. The foam is very comfortable. I can hear, I can breathe, I can get my voice out of the mask. We already talked about the visibility of the Vio lenses.
Yeah.
And I mean, sure, you could call me a fanboy. You could say, Doug, this is just the closest thing to the Contour 2, and you wear that. Sure, but this is still my pick. And it is just under and just over $100, coming in at $94.95 to $104.95, depending on colors and some things. But man, for me, this is it. This might be it. What do you think, Keeks?
Yeah, so the big selling factor for me for the Vio Ascend is the price of the lenses. The lenses are $37.95 versus the lenses that we've seen with the previous masks are in the $50s to $60 price range. So that's the big selling factor for me, as well as the foam is a very nice foam, honestly. It's not too big, not too small, and it has a good feel to it. The lenses are very easy to change, as well as the foam is a bit softer, which I like on my head. So overall, great mask. To me, it is. What does Joel Baker have to say about it?
I agree with everything you guys said. Keegan, you hit it on a good point, which is the price point of the lenses being significantly lower than just anything else like that, any other lens in that market. But yeah, you're getting true high-level performance. The only thing that you guys didn't touch on that I'd like to touch on is it fits big faces. So like I've personally worn this. I've had bigger guys come into the store and they've been able to wear it with no issues. I think that's largely due to the fact that with the regular Vio Ascend as compared to the AF, the soft rubber on the ears, no matter how tight it is, you don't really feel like it's there because it's that soft rubber. But other than that, I think, yeah, I mean, this is probably our most popular seller in the store.
That's a good solid point. And I've definitely seen some people walk out with these in hand, and I'm only in here like one day a week to do all this. So
Yeah.
I think this is a great sell for the price point and all the features you get. I think you can't go wrong. But next, we're going to move on to the HK Army KLR.
So the HK Army KLRs, this was actually my first mask that I ever wore. I got one handed down to me, and so I started wearing this mask to start out. It's a very small mask, as you can see, comparing it to the other ones. It's got a very small profile, but while wearing the mask, the thing that I've noticed is that it doesn't seem to have a small field of view or anything like that, which I loved. It also fit my head very well. I have a smaller head. So personally, I loved the mask when I had it. My one complaint is that with the kind of cutout of the mouthpiece here, it wasn't very hard, but it did become difficult at times to breathe and talk to people because there are very small slits and there isn't a whole lot of stuff cut out like you see in the Proflex or the Ascend. So overall, I did like the mask when I had it. It was a great beginner mask, but I honestly would probably now go towards one of the other masks that we have that are, if you're looking for a cheaper alternative or something around the same price point, I'd probably go with one of the other masks, unfortunately. The nice thing about it, though, is that the lenses are $39.95, and so it's not an outrageous amount for just a lens, and the actual mask is $99.95.
So, going off of that, I put it on, I wore it for a little bit. I think the foam just feels kind of cheap. Like I could rip this off really easily. I have a bigger head than Keegan. I don't have the biggest head ever, but Keegan's got a little nugget, so this fit him pretty well. For me, this foam on the sides is kind of sharp right here. It feels kind of cheap. It didn't feel great in my ears. I feel like my ears actually were pressing right on the buckle thing here. Wasn't a huge fan of that. And the breathing and the how small the openings here are, I can't fathom that. Like, that's crazy to me that they would make that. But I will say about HK just in general, their colors and like the way they make things look, they are really good at that. I think these masks are pretty attractive. I think the colors that they have are really nice, but that's about all I can really say that's good about these. I definitely would not be paying $99.95 for something like this. That's
brutal honesty,
dude. Dude, that's what we do.
Yeah,
How about you,
that's why we're doing this review. But you know, I'm with you, Doug. It's a really tiny mask. Like, Doug, throw it on real quick, just so everybody can see like exactly how small this mask is. Like for you, so Doug's not like a super large dude, but it's still like not that big.
I feel like my chin's
your chin's almost hanging out. Like, whereas like with me, if I throw it on, like my chin's probably gonna be hanging out completely. What's nice about this mask is the foam. There is a cutout for like glasses, even though I don't play with glasses. Oh yeah, this is gonna be difficult. This is gonna be difficult to even get on. Here.
Oh man, take these.
Yeah, my chin is completely out. But as far as the actual mask goes, this is what I'd say. I think that the KLR is a great mask for people that are smaller in stature. I think that the lens price is definitely something that I consider when I'm selling to customers here in the store. As far as the ears go, I agree with you, Doug, on 100%. Like, when I put it on, it's not comfortable with my ears. I think with a little bit of wear and tear, like Keegan, you wore it for a while. Did it break in? Did it get more comfortable on the ears?
They definitely broke in. They got more malleable. It wasn't like this real sharp or hard foam, and it wore in really nice, which I honestly loved.
So, like, you know, there's that part, plus the fact that you can replace it. You can replace the ears. You can replace the PVT locks on the side. So they're really customizable. I do like that about it. I think that for a price point at $99.95, you know, Doug, you're not crazy about it. Me, for myself, like, I think it's a relatively decent mask for $100. You get the thermal pain lens, which is something that you're gonna want. You have the customizability. You also can replace your ears if you want to, which is really nice. The foam, I agree with you, is like not the best. It looks like it isn't gonna stay on there forever. But you know, I don't think it's the worst. I think stylish wise, I think it's like a really cool looking mask.
They are attractive. I'll give them that. They are a good looking mask. But that being said, guys, I think the next one we're gonna have to take a look at is the V-Force grill.
All right, guys. Next, V-Force grill. These have been around for a very long period of time. Very, very popular mask. I would say probably the reason why they are so popular is because they're so aggressive looking.
Yep.
A lot of people love the way that they look.
That is, I think, the main selling point.
Yeah. And they're relatively inexpensive. Some of these special edition. Doug, what's the name of this one?
Angler Aqua, as well as the other one that just dropped today, as of filming this, is called Dragon Fury. Both of them pretty sweet looking colors.
Yeah, so these are special limited edition colors. These can range up to a little bit over $100, but for the most part, your standard colors are going to be less than $100, which is really nice. You're getting a thermal pain lens with it. So it kind of just depends. Like, the black are $84.95, etc., and they just go up from that price point. So what I would say with the grills is that there's a million different colors out there, which is a really nice feature on it. The lens changing system on it is really relatively simple, so it's not hard to change lenses. The lenses are expensive, just like with the V-Force Profiler. You're still paying anywhere from $49.95 to $59.95 for a reflective lens, so you're still at that really expensive price point. The lenses for V-Force masks tend to scratch really easy, which is a big minus, as compared to some of the other, like the Vio lenses don't scratch as easily as the grill lenses do.
So let's talk about some of the other things as well, like just with the mask itself, like why we've said like It's not actually the greatest mask. The real draw is the aesthetics of it.
Right.
For me, I've worn it a little bit. Your voice gets trapped in it, man. Like, I will go deaf by my own screaming if I wear this and I'm playing with it. That you cannot get your voice out of it. It is tough to hear. The field of vision is definitely limited. So,
yeah,
Keegan,
definitely.
what do you think?
I completely agree with all those points. Even for me, having a smaller head, my voice still gets trapped in it. I don't think it's the worst offender of it. We have a worse one coming up. At least this mask looks really aggressive and looks really good. Like
if you're trying to be ag, this is the mask to get.
Yeah, it definitely looks very good, and it actually fits pretty good, and it feels like it's pretty far off your face.
Yeah.
But honestly, like voice and hearing wise, it's not the best. The lenses kind of are small, kind of bug eye look to them, and you don't have a super wide view angle.
So one thing, I'll give it a credit to this. Many friends of mine who have worn it have said that they were thankful they decided to wear their grills that day when somebody bunkered them and laced them in the ear, because it really, you get full face coverage protection, ear protect. So it is protective for sure. So it's
and
protective.
the other thing too is with the ears is like it's a soft rubber.
Yeah.
Kind of like with the Vios.
Yep.
It's a soft rubber, so you're not gonna have that issue of it being like stiff and irritating your ear.
Yep. But I mean, that's about all I had as far as thoughts on the V-Force grill.
Yep.
Shall we move on to the Empire EVS?
Yeah,
do it.
Let's do it. Okay, guys. So the Empire EVS. I personally have never worn this mask while playing, but I have had them on. And personally, I hate the way they feel, the way they sound, pretty much everything about it, honestly. The one upside to the mask, I'll start with that. It has really good field of vision, probably the best out of any mask.
I completely agree. It's the best one as far as field of view.
So what I've actually been told is that when they were trying to make the Angel Eyes mask with that like massive field of view, since they couldn't pass it for regulations, they ended up with this mask. I'm not sure if that's true or not.
I've never heard anything about that,
but that's I saw a comment on a post about what happened to the Angel Eyes about this mask being basically the replacement for it with its massive field of view. But other than the field of view, I feel like I can't breathe in it, as well as when I'm talking. As soon as I say anything, I can just talk normally, and I feel like I'm gonna go deaf. I can hear everything.
Yep.
It's worse than the grills are or any other mask on this list for me. However, it is a bigger mask, so it probably fits your head pretty well. For me, doesn't fit my head at all, and honestly just doesn't. I personally would never wear one. So
I am with Keegan that I really am not a fan of this. He also pointed out earlier this thing is heavy.
Yeah.
This is a heavy boy. When I put it on, first of all, I don't think they're attractive. I think you look like a space cadet wearing this thing.
Yeah,
that's true. I think it looks like a space helmet. But from what this was the mask that actually helped bring in the rule that we all now need to wear chin straps.
Yeah.
When we play, this is what Trevor Reeser was wearing when someone else's barrel got up under and shot his face. It just came off really. They come off really easily. So that, first of all, that's a concern.
Well, to be fair though, the barrel tip raised the mask.
Yeah. True.
So to be fair, I mean the chin strap rule has
trying to defend it.
Yeah,
I see.
To be fair though, like there's every single mask I've seen people take a hard bite off the ground and then it comes off. Mask,
honestly, I don't think I've seen it with any other mask than the EVS personally.
I've seen videos of it happening to really anybody.
I'm definitely sure that it's happened, but it's definitely the most common with the EVS.
So when I put this on earlier and was doing my thing, it felt like it wouldn't take much to get it off my face.
Yeah.
But
you think it's just because it's heavy?
Heavy,
that could be.
Big build. It's not really like
it's not built for my head.
Yeah, it's not like the Ascend where it's a very small kind of small profiled mask. It's very big and robust, and just overall, it's not gonna like hug your face. It's just gonna sit on your face.
I want to hear from Joel though on this guy.
All right, so Keegan's not a big fan. Neither is Doug. I personally am. Part of the reason that I probably am more than these two are is because I'm a larger guy, but I'm going to point out some of the actual features that I do like about it. First off, the foam is really nice foam.
I did notice that.
It's a thick foam. It's a 3-layer foam, so it's much nicer than almost every other foam here, except for I would argue the JT Proflex has probably the best foam.
Yep.
But what I like is, again, there is room for glasses. So bigger guys with glasses, this is your mask. I've had multiple people come in the store. They want to wear their glasses while they're playing. This is the mask to wear. The other thing too is the ears are a little bit softer than the KLRs. There's that feature. The changing system for the lenses is like significantly easier than the majority of any of these other masks. You literally just pull and twist, and you do that on both sides, and the lens pops right out. So the lens changing system is really nice. The lenses themselves are like really nice quality. Empire masks just in general are better quality lens than like the V-Force lenses, and they tend to not scratch as easily, like I was saying earlier with the grills. So. Yep. Those are things that I do like about it. It is a heavier mask. I think that ultimately, what we're trying to say is that it's probably for bigger guys or bigger chicks with bigger heads, basically, than smaller dudes. Like, smaller dudes, this probably isn't your mask. Like, my mask isn't the KLR.
No.
Just like a small guy like Keegan the EVS isn't going to be for him.
Nope.
So,
yeah.
But it does have some really nice features. That would be my argument behind it.
I do think the biggest draw, the biggest pro to this mask is that incredible field of vision. I could see everything.
Yeah.
I really could see everything.
The lenses are sick.
And on the lenses are $54.95, and for the actual mask, they retail at $149.95. I'm sure that's a little dependent on color, but for the basic price of it is $149.95. So next up, we're moving on to the Push Unite. So the Push Unite, this is actually the mask that I personally wear right now. I have the Infamous edition of this mask.
The Ghost.
Yeah, the Ghost. The first thing that I would like to note about the Push Unite is that you have kind of a big price range between a couple different versions of it. You have the basic, which is $159.95. That's what this one is. And then you go up to the fully complete version of it, which is $189.95.
$184.95 for like your most basic color, and then goes up from there.
You go up to a $224.95 price range for the most expensive, like Contract Killer editions, Infamous editions, just certain different colors.
But as far as just the functionality of the mask, the lens, the foam, all the basic things that give you the high quality Push mask, your minimum that you can pay is the
$159.95. The only difference between this and the higher end version of it is the fact that you don't get the super nice fitted case, you don't get the tools that come with it to adjust everything, you don't get the smoke or whatever lens color it is that comes with it, and then you don't get the specialty Push chin strap.
Magnetic chin.
Yeah. So on the nicer nicer one it's magnetic, on this one it's just a buckle.
Exactly.
But again, still fully functioning, and you can still use the mask. Now, how about the foam? Comfortable?
The foam, so you had said that the EVS was the nicest foam because it was that 3-layered. The Push Unite actually has that 3-layered foam as well. Personally,
it does, doesn't it?
It does. Nice. You just don't see it quite as much because you have very differentiating colors on the EVS versus the Unite. It's all grayscaled. Personally, I love the mask. Feels great. It is a smaller mask. It's a little bigger than the KLR, I would say, but overall, great foam. You can breathe and talk out of it very well, in my opinion. The field of view is great. I can see everything, and one of the big things that I like to note is that the foam on the nose piece is actually slightly cut out.
Yep.
Similar to the Contour and the CMD, where it kind of fits your nose better. Other than that, the only con that I really have about the mask is the fact that changing the lenses and taking the mask apart is a pain. It really is. I've had to take my teammate's mask before to put it back together or put a new lens in it for her. Shout out to Michaela. But personally, love the mask. It's what I currently use, and I probably wouldn't use anything else.
So I wasn't sure really how I felt about this mask too much until actually the event we just played down in Tennessee. My mask, I couldn't find it in the pit. I don't know where. In matches, things happen. I took it off. It went somewhere. So I was supposed to be on, and I told Keegan, like, you just go. But Keegan wanted me to play. He just hands me his Push mask, and I was like, well, okay, whatever. put it on and was very surprised at how much I did like wearing it. It was comfortable. I could see really well. My biggest thing, I could hear really well.
Yeah.
I remember being able to hear everything through this mask, which was awesome. My only two things with it are I felt like my chin was exposed, but I do know they have an extended version, right?
That is, I think, the only mask that has that extender for the chin.
What about the CMD? Not CMD. I think they had like a Vio Extend kind of thing.
The Virtue Vio, there are different forms, but I think what
Yeah.
Keegan's pointing to is the fact that you can buy the Unite and then extend to the
And then
bottom
add
if
a
you want
piece in.
to.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So there, I would have that solution if I were to purchase one of these bad boys, but my only other draw with it is I just don't think they're that attractive, but that
Man, that's crazy.
I know.
Dude. I think that's like one of the
I
best
think
things
that
about it.
is probably the best looking mask in my opinion.
100%.
I'm okay with being in the minority on that
The
one.
other thing, so the other thing that I thought of when you were talking is the fact that I noticed that at Tennessee, because it started raining, they don't make a visor that fits this mask. I personally could not find a visor that would work
That's a
with
good point.
the Unite.
That's a very good point.
And so I ended up nearly switching over to my command mask because of that reason. That I tried to fit like the Virtue stealth visor, and it doesn't work. And unfortunately, so that is one of the big drawbacks.
Anything?
So
All right,
what
my
do you have
turn.
to add?
The case for not
Yes.
this one, not for the basic, because the basic just comes in a box. But for all of anything from the basic colors all the way up to the most expensive, like limited edition runs and all that stuff, you get a really nice case with it, which is phenomenal. I like the fact that it's form fitting. The case is form fitting, so
Yes.
instead of like buying a HK XO case or an Exalt case or whatever the case may be, it's going to be much tighter fit. So it's going to fit in your gear bag a lot easier than the other mask cases. The only other thing is it's really small. Personally, the only reason why I don't like it that much is because of that reason. It's too small for my face. I think it looks great and everything else like that. I think it's, for a top end contender, it's definitely earned that right
Definitely.
for everything that it features. The nose bridge, I don't think you pointed out the nose bridge
I did not.
adaptation. So there's actually an Allen screw in there, and you can adjust the nose bridge to be really far in, depending upon your nose size. If you got a really small nose, you can push the nose bridge forward, or if you've got a really big nose, you can actually push it back. So to get the most comfortable feel, which is that's a feature that's exclusive to the push mask.
Yeah,
so if that's a design factor for you, then you're definitely going to want to go push.
So you can really
Yeah.
make that thing feel exactly how you want. Well, that's
Definitely. I think that it's a overall definitely one of the top contenders on this list personally, and that it just, like Joel said, it deserves to be there.
So up next, Virtue Vio Contour 2.
So guys, when we first started filming this, Keegan and I thought that the Vio Contour 2 was out of production. So I do still love the Vio Ascend, but my favorite mask is now part of this list. I'm a personal user of the Vio Contour 2. I'm so happy. So Vio Contour 2. We already know about the lens. The field of vision is going to be great. It's just like the CMD.
Yeah.
It's like the Ascend. It's like the Ascend AF. It's in that family. We already know that that's awesome. I love the colors that they have for their lenses.
Yeah.
I like that they're a little more durable. As far as this mask and its comfort level, the nose, as you said with the push mask, is cut out just that right way. That it fits your face very well. It's also soft, good foam. It's absorbent, everything you want. It's not quite that tritone, the 3-layer foam, but I mean, for me, it's well enough. As far as the way it fits my face, it fits snug so that I don't feel like I have a lot of excessive material coming away from my face or whatever, but I still have enough room that, I don't feel trapped inside my mask. I like that it is a contoured feel. I like that it is exactly that. I feel like I breathe very well through it. I feel like I can be heard very well. I think I hear very well. But in addition to hearing well, even though these ears are pretty soft, I've been bunkered in the ear numerous times while wearing these masks, and I have yet to, knock on wood, have my bell rung by that. So I would say their protectiveness is way up there, and we have to address the Pro Pad. So the Pro Pad you can purchase. We have it here. You can put it on other masks as well, but this comes stock with said Pro Pad. Incredibly comfortable on the back of my head. Really kind of just makes it feel a lot more secure while I'm running around and doing my stuff. I personally can't say enough good things about the Vio Contour 2. And it just, look at it. I mean, it's beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
That is attractive. That is...
It's a really good looking mask. I'll give you that.
Honestly, and talking customizability too, like, or customization that you can do, we have other bottoms for it over there. You could swap this out with different colors. I know Adam Otero is out there. He's the Vio guy. He does all kinds of different used builds and different colors and stuff like that. When my original Contour 2 was stolen down in Kentucky, we couldn't get any in the color that I wanted in the shop, so I actually bought a used one through Adam to get the exact colorway that I had before, and just, man, what a great mask.
So the one thing that I will say is when we were in Tennessee, you needed to throw in a clear lens because it was supposed to be rainy, supposed to be dark. Took us about 15 minutes to figure out how to get the lens out. It wasn't because it was difficult, but because
it's not really intuitive.
Yeah, Doug kind of forgot that you had to push the actual strap forward and then
pull back. It's essentially a locking system.
Yeah, it's a safety feature, so that you don't have it pushed in and then your strap just comes out.
Yep.
And so it's just one of those safety features. When you pull the strap out, it locks it into place and it's not going anywhere. But overall, this mask, quite honestly, it reminds me more of the Push than it does the Vio Ascend.
Well, you know what? There was something a while back where I think there was almost a lawsuit with at least the original Vio between the Vio and the dye masks. Because people were saying they look too similar.
Yeah.
Which I'll give them that. I will say it doesn't look far off.
Yeah. But overall, I can see why you love this mask. It's a great looking mask, and I would personally consider using one.
Yeah. All right, Joel.
All right, my turn. So, yeah, I think it's a great mask. Once again, this is the big guy alert. Too small for my face. Again, that's like that's the deciding factor for me. Is I throw a mask on and my chin's hanging out or it's not, and that's kind of like. But as far as like comfortability and everything else like that, this rubber portion is like really flexible, which is really nice. So it's going to give you a little bit more protection than like the Flex, which is really nice, but it's still nice and soft.
Still breathable too.
Yeah. The Pro Pad is a really nice feature that comes stock on it. Like Doug was saying, I think it's a $12 feature if you want to purchase it for a different mask. And the chin strap's nice. It says built to win on it. It is just a standard chin strap. Like there's nothing super nice about it.
Yeah.
But it is, it's kind of stylish.
If you want to hold that up, I'm going to hold this because I know you said this guy actually feels pretty decent on your face. It's a Contour, so it's kind of shaped a little more narrow, whereas they leave this a lot more wide, and it's just made for more players, I think. So that's definitely kind of a differentiator in there.
So once again, I think it's like, for somebody that's a little bit smaller build, I think that this is a really good mask, something that you can definitely consider into your mix when you're purchasing your next mask. And the strap on the back is thicker, so it's like the Command, where it's a little bit thicker with a strap, which is really nice. So.
I will add one con to the list, so I don't seem like a total fanboy. So I play Snake mostly. So if I get shot diving in, or if I get gun battled out, whatever it is, if I'm getting up out of the Snake, oftentimes your head is still kind of looking down. If you get shot in here, now mind you, that would suck with any mask, but I feel like more than any other mask I've worn, cleaning all of this and just like the amount of how much it drips down into the rest of the mask, I feel like it is especially bad. So I will say that
it's just like really open.
Yeah, it is. With that.
It vents well, but it'll get you if you get shot.
Yeah, I'll agree with that because the Command is very similar in that sense, and the tops of them are pretty much the same, and so I can definitely I know how that is a problem and how it's just annoying.
Yep. But that being said, we are going to move on and take a look at the Bunker King's Command.
All right, guys. Next on the list, Bunker King's Command. Big guy alert. It does fit my face, so it's in the consideration for big guys. Command retails anywhere from $149.95 all the way up to $174.95. A few things on the Command that make the Command unique compared to the other masks is different style of foam than all the other foams. I would say it's probably, what do you think, guys? Probably most similar to the Push as far as the texture and everything else like that. Super nice. The other thing that I like to mention with the foam on this, you can pop it out and it's snapping, which is super nice. Like the Profiler, the Vio, a lot of these other masks aren't snap-in, so it's not going to be super easy for you to change out the foam, which we all know is like a main reason for like you wanting a new mask is you wear out the foam and everything else like that.
Just to be clear, the Ascend is not a snap-in. The Vio itself actually it is.
The Contour too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not the Vio.
Not the Ascend or the AF.
So the foam's nice around the command. It comes with a micro visor, which was really nice. Some super stylish colors. You got a mirrored thermal lens that matches with it, which is really nice. The chin strap, once again, is just this We Kill Suckers. It's the exact same as the Contour 2, just different text on it. Super breathable. The whole idea behind the command and the whole marketing behind the command is that you can hear really well and you can talk really well. And even though this does fit my face, I'll throw it on for you guys. Even though it does fit my face, it is kind of like small on my face. But what's really cool is I can still breathe really well. So there you have it. I can still breathe really well, and it contours around my ears just fine. So it fits just barely, but it does fit, and I can still breathe and I can still hear really well.
Yeah.
Oops. There you
go. So other than that to add, it comes with tiny visor. Only other mask other than the Proflex that comes with any visor at all.
And you can still throw the Vio stealth visor still can be placed on top of that because it doesn't protect you from rain. The micro visor does not protect you from rain.
Correct. Other than that, it's pretty much, it's honestly very similar to the Contour. A little bit different shape, but the materials all feel the same lenses, everything. The strap is very similar, as well as, I mean, the chin strap is the exact same.
It is the exact same chin strap. I will say, when I've tried to put that on, it doesn't. I think I just like a more snug mask feel because for me, that just feels like it's too big for my head, too big for my face. I feel like I can't get it to sit tight in the right spot kind of thing. But that's okay. That's why we have a lot of other options of masks to pull from. Yeah. But what I can speak to is it is breathable for sure, and that lens system. It's just, it's a good, like,
unbeatable, really.
Yeah.
For price point.
For price point, for the other features of the mask,
And something I like to point on is that the lens changing system for every, for the Vio AF, the Ascend AF, the irregular Ascend, the Contour 2, and the Bunker Kings Command, it's the same lens changing system.
Correct. So all universal, very easy to use. So overall, the Command, great mask. Anything else you guys had to say about it?
Not for me. I think we should take a look at that dye mask and wrap this up.
All right. Last one up is the Dye i5.
Alright guys, so out of the three of us, I am the only one that actually has a lot of experience wearing the Dye i5. I wore it for about 2 years because of a previous sponsorship on a team. So, the Dye i5, very attractive. I do think it looks good. Yeah. Dye products always look good. Their colors, their marketing are always really good. I did think it was comfortable for the most part, but my head is not that big, neither is Keegan's. I could never get that crank system if Joel wants to turn and kind of show that a little bit. Instead of pulling straps to tighten, it has a wheel that you crank and turn. It never got tight enough for me. And actually, personally, there came a point where I was, pulling my mask on and kind of stretching stuff out, and something happened, like I heard the crank go some weird way. I could never retighten it again, even to what it was. Like I could never get it quite, like I always felt like there was a risk of losing my mask. So I would say it is definitely more geared towards people with a bigger head. But as Joel threw it on, and as he was kind of pointing out, like, it's pretty snug to his face, and like, you don't really have a lot of room in there, do you?
It barely fits my chin line, so it does fit. The other thing that I like to mention is that there is an insane amount of echo. It's comfortable, like it's super comfortable on my face, but there's a ton of echo. Like I could never wear this mask simply for the fact that there's way too much echo going on.
You would. I did,
but it is very comfortable on my face.
From wearing that and then wearing, now my Vios and stuff like that, I did not realize how much I was damaging my own hearing by wearing that mask. So there is that, and as you also saw, his ears were not really protected at all. No. Versus when he wore the Command, he had total coverage, and that's an actual rubber. Whereas these soft whatever ears. Here's the thing. So I had my mask for 2 years. It was probably a year, maybe, before they start, like, they curl in really badly. They're falling apart. Yeah. The foam is all coming off, and like the longevity of like the quality for that just, and changing the lenses on them was not the easiest task. Personally, I would rather go
Do
through.
you have anything good to say?
Honestly, dude, not really. They look good. I think they look good, but like
they look sick.
it's just not the and the foam is nice. It is comfortable on your face itself, but man, there are better options, especially for the price point. Keegan, talk about that for me.
Yeah, so the price point, they are coming in around $189.95. That can go up depending on color options, but that is just to get yourself into an i5 mask.
Yep.
Personally, the foam does it
it's really
seems
nice
like a
foam.
really nice foam.
It's like thicker than some of the other foams.
Yeah, and then the other thing that I have to say, the pad on the back with the adjustable strap, great idea, great thought, but you can't tighten it enough, and to me, the execution was poor. I know that a lot of people buy it specifically for that reason.
But if you crank it wrong and break it,
yeah,
you're done.
You're done. It's a very finicky kind of thing. Your mask is protecting your face. I wouldn't really trust it if something were to go wrong. But it is a sleek looking mask, and it looks to be a thinner mask based off how you had it on your face.
Yeah, the contoured style.
Yeah, it looks very slim, but
And it's a bigger mask than the i4, so a lot of people that have come through the store or online always mention that they like the fact that the i5 is bigger than the i4.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think it's really comfortable, and we're going to pull an i4 in here. As you can tell, the chin is about half an inch bigger, and it's definitely thicker. So in that sense, like the i4 does not fit my face. This does fit my face, but just barely. But yeah, I agree with you, Doug. I've seen like multiple players where like the ears are starting to come off and everything else like that. I don't think I've ever seen the crank system go bad on anybody else's. But what I have seen is that this back portion kind of tends to get loose.
Oh yeah, or I've seen this
like
piece
that.
of foam just totally fall off and get lost. I know Ray did that to his.
So, I think that for a bigger guy, it's a nice mask. I know that a lot of airsofters use it. I would say that, if you're going to not use the mask extensively, then maybe it's a decent option. But, like you said, I think for the same price point, you've got other better options.
Yeah,
I would
definitely.
agree. So with that, we are going to set that bad boy down and discuss final Punisher's picks. All right, Keeks. Punisher's pick, what's it going to be?
All right, so my Punisher's picks. This was actually a pretty hard one for me, but I actually decided once again to go with my personal mask.
If it wasn't obvious.
Yeah, if it wasn't obvious, the Push Unite. I actually almost didn't choose this mask. I almost went with the Ascend because of the price point difference, the lens price point difference. We actually didn't touch on the lens for this. The lenses for the Push Unite are $59.95 to $64.95 for some of them, which is the most expensive lenses on this list. But the reason that I did go with the Unite is the fact that they recently incorporated this basic edition that doesn't come with the case, and it's just the mask, the box, and I think that's it, honestly, for a cheaper price point. The Push was always kind of a sought-after mask that was the most expensive, maybe next to the i5, depending on color for the two.
Yeah.
Those two were always the top two contenders for price point. And the fact that they did start making and producing a cheaper alternative, that's the reason that I went with the Unite. If it wasn't for that, I probably would not have gone for the mask. It's a very pricey mask compared to the rest, and you can get something that's going to hold up and be as good, maybe not just have some of those features for way cheaper. So personally, Push Unite, my number one pick for mask.
Keegan,
I
got a question for you. So you've got the Infamous edition, right?
I do.
So what about the longevity? If you're spending that much money on a mask, like if I'm going to spend $175, $200 on a mask, I'm good with that. I feel like there's a population out there that for sure want to spend $200 because they want like top end performance and everything else like that. But I want it to be the longevity behind it. Like, have you had any issues with it as far as the foam wearing out? Like, my big thing is the foam or the strap.
Yeah.
Right? Those are the first two things that go. Everything else is like rubber. It's not gonna wear over time. Mm-hmm. Any issues?
So I'm a front snake player. I beat the absolute crap out of all of my gear. and I tend not to clean it right away, which probably isn't the best. But even through all that, I have yet to have a single problem. I have not noticed the foam coming off. I have not noticed really any wear on the foam.
It's good.
The head strap, haven't noticed anything. I have my head strap tightened as far as it can go, and even bobby pinned in place so that it doesn't loosen on me while I'm playing, and I have yet to see any stretching in it. And then the chin strap, it's not this chin strap, it's the push magnetic chin strap. I personally love. A lot of people don't, but it's very easy to just one-hand it on off.
Yeah.
And so personally, no, I have yet to see any types of wear. The only thing that I have come across that might be kind of wear related is the fact that through here, with my mask having that clear bit to it, with it being the infamous edition, you can start seeing the paint in it, and it's kind of hard, and it can stain a bit. But that doesn't
That's just
affect,
a color thing.
Yeah, it doesn't affect anything that actually is vital in a mask. So,
All right, Doug.
Doug,
Your turn.
Bet you can't guess what I
Wow,
want.
this is... There it is.
The Vio Contour 2. Listen, I said in the beginning of this video, if this weren't on the list, that, again, the Ascend would have been my Punisher's pick, just because it is the most similar, but comfortable, breathability, vision, it's durable, it's a good rubber, but for me, the Contour 2 just, it has all those same things, but for me, it just feels even a little bit more firm and durable. The Pro Pad and just the look of it, man. I mean, it's very attractive, and it checks all of my other boxes for breathability, comfort, vision, just fitting my face well, which is, I think I have a weird face, so, you know, aside from being ugly, I think I just have a weird face, so, like...
Well then, it's a good thing, Contour too.
Makes me look way better.
brutal honesty.
But
That's what we swear by, right?
Yeah, it is right. But no, for real, this is going to be my pick, but again, I'm with Keegan. If not, it would have been, honestly, the Ascend. So,
yeah.
I'm all about the Contour too, but Joel?
All right, real quick.
Oh, what's
Aside from it being stolen, any types of wear?
So the other one I had for about 7 months, I think. About 6 months before it got stolen. No. Literally just paint stains from getting bunkered in the face.
Yeah, of course.
There you go.
Other than paint stains, no.
Not
nothing.
even the ears? No.
Does it like
Maybe-
wear in a bit,
you know
like
what?
get looser at all?
You know what? The only little bit of wear that probably happens is like a little bit of just like fraying at this little bit of foam, but even then you can buy replacements for that.
Right. Exactly. That's really nice. Like, my thing is, like, if I can replace it and it's easy to replace, then I'm cool with it.
Easy and cheap to replace.
Yes.
Right,
And
right.
like I said, I love that the foam snaps out. Like, everything that you will need to replace, you can do it pretty easily.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
yeah, for me, Vio Contour 2 all the way. But now I want to hear Joel's pick.
All right. All right, guys. So, I was torn between the Proflex and the Command. I've worn both. I love both. But I am going with the JT Proflex simply for the price point. The Proflex has a ton of features, very similar to the Command. I wear the Command mask. Right now I'm wearing the Command mask. I've worn the Proflex. My only thing is the price point on this at $69.95 is literally $100 cheaper than the Command. That's the only reason I didn't pick the Command as being the number one. But breathability on this, like, Doug, I'm sorry, bro.
Nah,
Keegan,
No,
I'm
it's
sorry.
better. No, it's for
you
sure.
can't beat the Proflex, man.
I will completely agree with that. I will
It's OG.
completely agree with that.
JT figured it out a long time ago.
Yep, I love the fact that the new JT Proflexes also have this rubber ear.
Yeah.
I come from the era where the soft ears were like,
Dude, yeah, I
the
brought
thing.
that up earlier on.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So the soft ears were the thing. This does protect my ear for the most part. The strap is easy to replace. The foam is like the best in the industry. I don't care what anybody says. My biggest thing with the foam though is that on the sides here there is no room for glasses. For me that's not a game changer anymore because I don't wear my glasses while I'm playing. I found that my glasses fog. For those people that need to wear their glasses, they don't have any other option. I would definitely suggest the Vio because you can have that fan that attaches to the top, and there's room for your glasses. That's definitely something that was considered with the Virtue mask and some of these other masks, including the Proflex X. But overall, for $70, you cannot beat this
Not at all.
thermal. It comes with a visor. stock, so you don't have to worry about purchasing one, which is really nice. These are just phenomenal masks. Biggest reason why they released the Proflex X, the lens changing system, is a pain to get this rubber portion around the lens, pull that off, and pop the other one on. As far as lens prices go, you're kind of in that same price range, $40 to $50, so it is going to be more extensive, but you're only paying $70 for this mask. It is extremely comfortable, extremely breathable, and I just love the JT Proflex.
Well, guys, with that, I think that's it for this Punisher's Picks round. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to us on Instagram, find us on Facebook. Make sure to drop a comment, and obviously subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'll catch you on the next Punisher's Picks.
See you guys.